Hey guys, it's Kelly Ann and welcome to another Flossy Friday. Today is June 5th. I almost said May 5th. Before we get into the life update and the usual stitching, I do want to address what is going on in the world and my stance on everything. My stance is Black Lives do matter. 100%. I am 100% here as an ally, and I may still mess up in the future, and I'm still learning and educating myself, and it's been a very eye-opening week all around. I posted it on Instagram and I'll reiterate it here. Have I always been the best ally, even though in my heart I always wanted to be? I haven't. Sometimes my words and my actions, whether on purpose or because I didn't know any better, reflect that. And am I ashamed of my past? A little. However, there's also a lot of grace going on right now because we all need to do better. We all need to educate ourselves more. I can only speak for being brought up in the South, deep Texas. There are a lot of phrases and things that you see and hear every day that with looking at it differently and with more open eyes and with the new education that I have been giving myself the last week and with the conversations that I've been having, there's a lot that I grew up with that I never before would have thought how it could be seen or misconstrued or taken differently. And so I have a lot of learning to do. I have a lot of retraining myself on different things, but I'm here to do the work. And am I able to forgive myself for my past? Yes, because I'm putting in the work. If I wasn't willing to, then I obviously also would not be addressing this. But I wanted to address what is going on and my stance on it because I feel like that's important. There are a ton of ways that you can help, and I will 100% not be able to remember to mention them all because I have a goldfish memory of like 3 seconds. So I know that there are a ton of different organizations right now that you can donate to, blacklivesmatter.org, Campaign Zero, a lot of them. There's funds for George Floyd's family, for Breonna Taylor. There's a ton of places. There's also cross-stitch patterns that are coming out. I know Beth Twist made one. Hers is free, and you can find it on her link tree on her Instagram. Beth Twist is Heartstrings Sampler, by the way. Arlene Cohen made one. Why do I feel like either Fiddlesticks AU or Sassy Jacks made one? This is what I'm saying. I have a goldfish brain. Go on Instagram into the stitching community. You can find them. I believe I've seen about 5 or 6 patterns. Several designers are sending their Etsy checks for this week through Sunday the 7th, I believe. They're sending their checks to different organizations. I know Michelle Bendy Stitchy is sending hers to Campaign Zero. And if you can't help in a monetary way, there's obviously protesting going on. There's also a YouTube video, and I truly do not know the link for this or the name of it. I've seen it everywhere, and I've clicked on the link for it. But there are YouTube videos. I know Simply Neological, her video coming out tomorrow. If you follow her, all of the AdSense that she receives off of that video is going to blacklivesmatter.org. So there's a bunch of different creators out on platforms. You just watch the video and you watch all of the ads all the way through. And so if you aren't able to help in a monetary way, there's a ton of different ways to help and be a better ally. Educating yourself, talking with your friends and family, calling out racism every time you see it or hear it. So I'm not great with words, but that's where I stand. Help when and where you can, and let's all do better, be together, and fight for change. And with that, life update. This week has been a lot, I think, for everyone. For the most part, doing good. I've had a lot of really good conversations with friends in the stitching community and outside of the stitching community. I've had good conversations with some family members about everything. Weight loss is still going good. I get to go back to the office on Monday, so that's really good. Mental health wise for me, because I'm going insane being at home. Not that I don't love my coworker at home. He's great, and he's gonna have an issue whenever I go back to work. He decided to lay next to me on the floor. I'm trying to get him to come to me so he can say hi. As far as stitching goes, last weekend I worked on 2 things. This is going to be a really short video because I didn't work on too many things. You want to come say hi? Let me see if I can get him to come say hi. Hey, come here. Come here. Come say hello to everyone. It's been a while. Thank you. So, my little coworker here is going to be very upset next week. So we'll see how mommy being back at work goes. But he says hello to everyone, and yeah. I don't know if you can hear him purring. I don't know if he's being loud enough. Okay, you weirdo. All right. All right, go up. There you go. Okay. I'm glad I was able to get him in a video. It's been a while. Okay, so the main thing that I worked on over the weekend is Heartstrings Sampler Sewn in Friendship on 32 count Pictureless Plus memory. I've changed all the colors, but like I talked about last week, I kind of rejuvenated my blog, and I will list all the colors there whenever I get this half of the piece done. I think that's what I'm going to start doing now. And like I said last week, instead of keeping up with it all the time it'll be whenever I finish something, and I'll give you all the details on fabrics, colors, and all of that kind of stuff. So, absolutely love it. All that I have left is the words. And up here, there is a, like, it kind of looks like a lace pattern to me with little hearts in it. But that is one half. And I've already started the other half. Like, I have a little bit of, like, the center circle started on the Plum Street half, but very cute. I absolutely love it. And I will be working on that this month on lunch breaks after I go back to work. I didn't this week work on the Santa or anything on my lunch break because I found out Monday that I was going back on the 15th, but then there was some conversations and I got asked if my boss knew that I was really anxious to get back to be around other humans, since everyone that we work with gets to be around other humans, even though it is very possible that they're tired of those humans. And one of my coworkers who was going back on the 8th graciously offered to trade with me. So that's why I'm going back. So once I found that out, I was like, I'll just work on Halloween rules on my lunch breaks. But there were 2 days this week that I didn't stitch at all. I had a few migraines this week and was just mentally drained and exhausted, and emotionally drained, pretty much like everyone else. So, also before I show you the second thing that I worked on this weekend, I kind of need to explain what happened. So, this weekend on Saturday, I was FaceTiming or video chatting. I don't remember what platform we were on. Doesn't really matter. I was video chatting with Cassie, and we were both decluttering. And I mentioned last week that I had the idea of going through my whips and possibly doing a ditch the stitch and recording it. But she was decluttering, and I decided the main room that I needed to go through, declutter, and reorganize because it was an absolute mess, was my craft room. And I pretty much got to everything, and I was like, I guess really the only thing that I've left is my whips. So I went ahead and just did them. I did get rid of 2 whips. They are already... I didn't even think to like save them to show them. I cut off the excess fabric of one of them to have it for a small, and they went in the trash. The first one was my National Parks sampler from the Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery. The first one, I never got the second one. So the 100th anniversary one, I only had a fourth of it done. I started it back whenever it first came out in 2016. I haven't picked it up in almost 2 years. I really like it, but at the same time, no desire to stitch it. So, because I love it, but at the same time, it isn't 100% me. I fell in love with the buffalo, I think, honestly, really. So I might just make a little scissor fob or something of just the little buffalo because I love bison. I don't know. I've always, since I was a kid, loved bison. I was attracted to the little buffalo. He's very adorable. So I might make him a scissor fob or something of the likes. Maybe just like a little tiny pillow. I don't know what I'm going to do with him. Maybe I'll make him into a keychain. Who knows? The other one that I didn't want to get rid of, but decided to go ahead and stop working on and eventually restart, turned into I want to restart this now. So that would be my Master and the Macabre by the Cricket collection. I was originally stitching this on 40 count Newcastle colorway Doubloon by Picture This Plus. I kept on thinking in my head that I had a lot done on this, and I think it's because it's so tiny, it just felt like I had done a whole lot on this. I hadn't barely done squat. I mean, come on. I hadn't barely done squat. It's beautiful, and I love it on the neutral fabric. I think it looks fantastic on the neutral fabric. I don't like 40 count, and a lot of my friends do. This is going to a lovely home, and they even like frogging. So they asked for me to leave the frogging, so I was gonna just cut it off. They wanted me to leave it, so the whole thing. My tiny start of my Edgar Allan Poe house. All of it's heading somewhere. So I decided I want to restart it. And while we were decluttering, Cassie helped me pick out the new fabric. And I had this in my stash to do the Frosted Pumpkins Trick or Treat stitch along from a couple years ago, and I never started it. And I decided I probably never would, and if I do want to at some point, I have the PDF and I just need a new piece of fabric. It is what it is. But I had the called for, and this is 14 count. Bless my heart. But I went ahead and I restarted it. So there is my Edgar Allan Poe house. I am changing all of the colors. I wanted the house to still be creepy, but also be a little bit more realistic looking, a little bit more of that realistic old Victorian style in the colors being used. I still haven't picked out all. I'm about to hiccup. I haven't picked out all of my colors because I haven't decided which ones I want to make DMC and which ones I want to try and find a fancy floss for. So it is now on 14 count, which the count doesn't bother me. It just means it's going to be way bigger than it was going to be before. But on Da Vinci, and it's also sparkly Da Vinci. So, I don't know. Just something about like the sparkly, but like also like the orange and the purple. It kind of gives it a whole new, still eerie kind of vibe. And I'm here for it, man. So I worked on that because I just couldn't put it down. And I got a big chunk of the house done. I mean, I got the whole second story done. I mean, obviously not the windows, but of like the house part. And I mean, I made a pretty decent chunk on the first floor. So I'm not mad at my progress of restarting that this last weekend. I just needed something. And I was like, if I don't go ahead and restart it, even like since we've picked out a fabric, that's just gonna sit there, and I want to restart it because I want to get that back out sooner than later. So that's kind of why that happened. And I was about to start working on Halloween rules the next day, so it just kind of worked out. Okay, so where am I at on Halloween rules? So as we know, this month I am dedicating 7 days to 4 different projects and 2 days to the Zodiac release. The first week I decided to work on Halloween rules, and I don't know yet if this next week will be Fruit of the Month or Go Green. So if you have an opinion on that, Frosted Pumpkin, Fruit of the Month, or Lizzie Kate, Go Green. Whenever we chat in the comments and we're talking like we normally do, let me know what your vote is. I don't know if that will change anything or not, but it would be nice to know what y'all would like to see next week at the same time. It's going to be one of those two, and either way, they're both going to get worked on this month. At least in my mind, I'm still sticking to my plans for this month. And as of right now, we'll see what happens in 2 weeks. I don't know. And as far as lunch break goes at work, I'm going to work on my Sewn in Friendship piece, my Santas, and then if all of that somehow gets caught up, then I'm going to move on to the Scary Apothecary series because I have 3 out of 9 of those done. I want to have both Scary Apothecary and Secret Santas done this year because I want them FFO'd the same way, and it would just be easier if I could do them all the same at the same time, or have them done all at the same time. Let's be honest. I might be having them done all at the same time. Anyways, I digress. So I've been working on Halloween rules. So I showed this last week to show you, actually I showed all of the projects that I was wanting to work on this month, just to show you where my progress was. I needed to finish the line between rule number 6 and rule number 7, and I needed to do the black border all the way up. I needed to continue the border down more. So I finished that. I finished all of rule number 7. Now, this is not what rule number 7 actually is. I've put my rules in a different order. I think I talk about that every time that I pull this out, but if these were my Halloween rules, so like if I wanted to do all 12 of these on Halloween night, I put them in the order that I would do them in. So the next one is Stay Up Late. So I've gotten all of this one done, Brew Some Fun, and then I've gotten a good chunk of Stay Up Late done. So what I have left on this one is filling in their little tummies, the words Stay Up Late, and then there's some little moons that go right here. And then I gotta block it off with the cream light yellow line. But I will probably this evening move the hoop down, so that way as I work on this, if any of the colors that I've left in this rule apply to this one, I can go ahead and get rule number 9 started, and if anything, I can at least like move down the border. So the next one after this one is Visit a Haunted House. So Stay Up Late and then Visit a Haunted House. So my goal was to at least get 2 rules done, possibly 3, but probably by the end of tonight, I will have rule 8 done and a chunk of rule 9 done. So, and I'm working on this through Sunday. So it is possible that I could get up to 4 rules done and only have 2 left. I don't know. We will see. We will see, because I'm really excited about it. So that's Halloween rules. Oh, this is on, I was like, I stopped saying what fabrics things are on. I didn't, I just didn't say it for this one. This is on 32 count Pitchless Plus Lugana in sterling. Yep, sterling. So I'm really excited. What have I bought this week? And what might I still possibly buy this week? I'm trying not to go crazy. Truly not. I bought 2 Bendy Stitchy patterns on Etsy. One to help support Campaign 0. I bought the Harry Potter directional sign. I forget the name of it. And I got the Personal is Political. Those are the 2 that I got. I also saw the preview for the Tiny Modernist Halloween Stitch Along that starts on June 15th. and goes through October 1st. It is a old school yet modern Ouija mystery series. Here for it. There's only 3 colors, which means I might add more colors to it. It requires 5 skeins of black, so it's right up my alley of needing copious amounts of 310. B5200 and I think 535. So you can do it all in DMCs, but there are options if you want to do it in fancy floss. I think whitewash, is that by Gast? And I can't remember the gray color. I can't remember the name of it. Anyways, you can find it at Tiny Modernist's website. Okay, yes. The patterns that I'm wanting to get, because I was video chatting with Emily while she was working on this, and I love it even more watching it being stitched than just it being shown in her video. But it's the retired but kind of like being re-released pattern. It's a retired cross-stitch club pattern from Not Forgotten Farm. You can get it on Etsy, but it's called Melancholy, and it says industry is the best cure for melancholy. And it's scissors and thread and a needle. It's beautiful. I love it. So I'm pretty sure I might get that. And then I really like this one too. It's a retired cross stitch club pattern, and it's called Heart and Hand. Zoom in, please. And I really like it. I really love it. And then the final thing that might be happening is Emma Congdon Stitch Rovia's newest pattern on Etsy called Take Life with Tequila. She's done a gin pattern and a vodka pattern. I'm not a gin or a vodka girl. Well, I don't drink anymore, but whenever I did, I was a whiskey, spice rum, and tequila girl. And this one is just so bright and vibrant. And it says, take life with a pinch of salt, a wedge of lime, and a shot of tequila. Yes, please. How fun is that? I love it. So I think that's where I'm at with splurges for the month. What is up with me and needing to hiccup today? Okay, I think that is it for this week. I hope that everyone is doing well, like mentally, like being active, being involved, educating yourself, learning more, just like I am, but also taking care of yourself and your mental health. All at the same time. It's a lot. Especially because a lot of us are still in isolation, still in quarantine, and having to deal with the different rules and stuff depending on where you are. So just take care of yourself, you guys. Always be educating and learning, and growing yourself as a person. Reach out to friends and family, and keep stitching, and I will see y'all next Friday, and I will meet y'all down in the comments below. Bye guys, I love y'all.